that I was appointed by the Romanian government as responsible for the dialogue with French authorities on the subject of Roma issue, and it is because my task in the Labor Ministry of Romania is in fact related very strongly with social inclusion policies. I am coordinating a lot of departments which, putting together their policies, will lead to a better social inclusion, not only for Roma citizens, in generally for Romanian citizens. During an interview, the reporter told me that there are criticisms among some NGOs that I was appointed in this position without being Roma. I have to tell you that I am a monument of tolerance, and it is because my wife is half Hungarian and half Chinese. My wife is Protestant, I am Orthodox, so please take into account that this approach is not a proper one. So I will continue, and it is only by chance I'm sitting next to my French colleague in this panel. But I will try also not to talk too much about the last development of the situation in France and the European Commission level on this subject. I will try to come back to the general subject, which is inclusion policies at European level. Since I started to work on this subject, the key word I consider on this subject is coordination. And when I speak about coordination, I understood that it's necessary to have a better coordination of the policies at the national level. I understood we need a better coordination in relation between the member states, particularly with France in that case, with Italy or other states. But it's necessary to have a better coordination of the policies at the European level also. Let me get some more in details. Speaking about financial support, I heard some opinions that once European Commission, European Union offered the financial support materialized in European social funds, that is enough. European Union fulfill their task regarding the social inclusion of Romanian citizens in general and the Roma citizens in particular in Romania. If that approach came from, allow me to say, ordinary citizens, can be understood by lack of information or understanding or education or so on, but is impossible to accept such an approach when it comes from authorities, for representatives of governments of member states. I hope it will be corrected to understand that it's not only the financial support can lead to a better social inclusion when we speak at European level. Speaking about juridical framework, it is the same. Now, it's just the coincidence in time that European Union asked a member state to improve their juridical framework on this aspect, social inclusion. But it is also not enough. Because social inclusion means not only financial support or juridical approach. We can find in any member state's juridical framework that they are nearly too perfect. But the situation on the field is far away from that. It's far away to be good, not perfect. So we have to think once again to a more integrated approach. And I go to education and health. Speaking on education, of course, having as as a target group, Roma people, it is necessary to invest a lot, and not only money, mainly effort and good willing in the education of these people. But education of these people is not enough. It is necessary to invest in education also in the majority population. I have to confess that I have great difficulties to make a child, a 15 years old girl of one of my friends, to understand why we have in Romania a quota for Roma children in the high schools. And believe me, she is an AAA child. She doesn't need to compete, or she competed to get in the high school, but has no problem to get in the high school, being an AAA student. But she was concerned why they have a quota and I have to compete to go in the high school. Why it's not fair. And I had difficulties to explain why it's necessary to have a quota for Roma children in the schools in Romania. So it is necessary to educate also the majority in order to understand the necessity of fair inclusion policies. It is, in fact, one of the most difficult tasks. It was easy to have a quota in the high school, but it's very complicated to explain why it's necessary to have it. Speaking about employment and labor market, also here we need an European approach. We can have a good approach at each individual member state on this aspect, employment. But as long the labor market is not fully open in all European member states, then it is very easy after 3 months to ask anybody, not only Roma, if they have the necessary financial support to stay longer on their territory, and then to send them back in their origin country. As long the labor market is not fully open, that is not, I would say, more than fair. I would say is not a correct, because we had the European, the World Bank approach, very accurately financial approach on that, very, let's say, expenders and benefits approach on the subject of the labor market. But it is not only that. It is more than that. It's the social aspect of the labor market, opening or limited opening labor market. And this is one of the most important challenge that we have to face at the European level. It's still possible to keep labor markets in the member states halfly open, or it's necessary to have another kind of policies. This is also a part of the social integration policies at the European level. But there is another aspect here. There is the discrimination aspect regarding the labor market. And here, I think enforcing the social dialogue, involving the employers' associations at all levels should be a very important aspect of an integrated approach of social integration policies, inclusion policies. I am coming back to the coordination between member states and EU policies. And I will end soon with this subject. It is extraordinarily welcome the next conference in Romania on the way the European funds they are used and absorbed on these projects. What I have discovered, and will be a subject to be discussed in the next EU conference on this subject, it is that there is not possible to have integrated projects financed. What I mean, you can use a line of financing for housing. You can use another one for health. You can use another one for education. But you cannot use any of them for projects including housing, education, health, and vocational training. We should change a little bit, because it seems to me that that is only a bureaucratic problem and we can solve it very easy. This is another way of thinking the coordination of EU policies with the member states' policies. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for inviting me here. Thank you.